So now let's list all of the orders that we have in our database, okay, onto the user the order list screen. Okay, so this all will be managed by the admin, whoever is an admin. So we need to fetch all of the orders and then make a request to the backend to fetch all the orders and display it on the order list screen. Okay, so let's now go to the server and create a controller for it. So going into the order controller and going down at the bottom and creating a function to get all the orders. So const get orders, and again, you know the drill, right? You can go ahead and try this out if you want. So async request response, and we are now going to uh, use the order model to get all of the orders that we have in our database. Let's call this orders and set this to await order dot find. So we are going to find all of the different orders. Okay, so we are not going to pass in anything, and we are, which means that we it will fetch all of the orders that we have in our database from this order model, and we are going to populate just the user and the id with the name. Okay, so we do not want all the fields, so just populating the user which is connected to the user, right, whoever ordered this particular product, and along with that we need the user's id and the name. Okay, so we just need to separate those two with a white space. Okay, so we will get only these two values, and let's send the response. All right, so that's done. Now let's export this. Okay, so now let's go to the routes and create a route for it. So going into my order routes, and I can just duplicate this, and remember this time it has to be restricted only to an admin. So along with protect, we also got to bring in this admin, which checks for the user if the user is an admin. Okay, so like that, and we just need to give it a route of api slash users slash orders. Okay, so the api slash users is already there in our server.js, which is connected to that, and yeah, so that's done, and we are making a get request, and importantly this has to be an admin. Okay, so that no regular user can make a request to this. So now that's done. Let's go to the client and create a order API slice to fetch all of the orders. So let's go to the slices folder and the order API slice, and let's create one to get all the orders. So get orders and set this to builder dot query, and within that we are going to take in the query, which in turn takes in a function which requires the URL. Okay, so like this, which is going to be just the orders URL. Computer slow. So it is the orders URL just like that, and you know what, we can just give just API slash orders. Okay, instead of, because we don't have to append another orders to it. So we can actually just chain this along with the post request. So this will be two complete different requests. Okay, so one is a get request to slash and one is a post request. So if it is a post request, then it will call this function, else it will call this you get this has to be get orders. Okay, so get orders, and let's delete this. Okay, so just a small bit of confusion right there. So that's done, and now let's just give the orders URL, that is slash API slash orders, and again let's do this for the caching that comes with the Redux toolkit. Okay, so here it needs to be a comma, uh, here also another comma. Right, so that's done, and let's now export this. Use get orders, that is query. Okay, so that's done, and Yeah, so now let's go finally to our order list screen and fetch all of the orders and display them in the form of a table. All right. So now I will paste in the JSX for our order list screen, okay, which is in the form of a table, and also you will find this file over here, which is order list screen within this JSX folder, so that you too can copy paste if you want. Okay, so I had some people having an issue like copy pasting, so I have just created a folder for it so that you can just easily copy the raw form of JSX without any states or anything like that. So in order to save some typing, that's why I am doing this. Okay, so this is the, like as I told you, it's not a course on HTML and CSS, so I just don't want to make it too boring. So it is nothing much, very simple. Okay, so we just have some few tailwind classes, and we have implemented a table to display all of the orders. Okay, and also later in the later videos we will be also implementing pagination, so that we do not have a very long list, and also we'll be creating certain pages, so along with the products as well as this list. Okay, so if we go to the the admin section and click on the orders, there we have all the orders. Okay, just the table headers, and later we'll be mapping out all of the orders that we have in our database, and then listing them out one by one. Okay, so for now everything is working fine. So yeah, so let's go back and let's have a look at what do we have over here. So this is a new property called overflow X auto, which means that we do not want any kind of horizontal scroll bars. Okay, so so that it doesn't have to overlap, or exceed the maximum width, so that we just want to limit within the particular screen size. Okay, so that's why we use this property in order to avoid those scroll bars. And then we have this table tag, which we are giving certain border, and we are collapsing it so that it just looks like single straight lines without any doubles. Okay, and we are giving it a border, okay, and of some variant. So if you just hover on this, you can find the property which has been applied. Okay, the tailwind property, and we have given a minimum width of the entire screen, so that it is responsive for both mobile and desktop devices. Okay, so if I have a look, so for each entry, that is for each header we are giving some border, and with a gray variant of 300, and a little bit of padding on the x-axis and y-axis. So on smaller devices we are giving it some extra padding, and also for the medium screen devices as well. Okay, so that it looks good on both desktop as well as mobile screen devices. So nothing much over here. So we can, right now I have left this the body blank, so that we can map over our orders, and then paste it one by one according to this order. Okay, so now let's go and get all of the orders. So we have already created a slice for it, and let's destructure few things. Const, let's destructure the data which we get, and we can rename this as orders. Okay, and then we need the is loading state. So while while all of the orders have been fetching, we can show a spinner is loading, and then the error, if there is any error in fetching, so that is coming from use get orders query, like that. Okay, so now let's right away check for the condition. If it is loading, let's show a spinner. So if is loading, then we want to show a spinner, which we can right away auto import. What's going on, like that. Okay, so we can auto import this. For some reason it's not showing me the suggestions. Never mind, let's import it manually. So that is coming 2 levels above, and spinner. All right, so and also let's check for the error state. So if there is any error, then we are going to display in the form of a toast message, toast dot error, which we can also auto import. Hopefully this can, no, this also doesn't auto import. I don't know what's wrong with my VS Code. Okay, so toast dot error, we can give the property of error dot message. Okay, So this has a property called message, like that. And yeah, so now let's use this orders to map all the orders, and we'll be displaying them one by one in the form of a table. Okay, so let's go right in between the table body and open our expression. Let's say orders using an optional chaining if that doesn't exist. So dot map. So for every order we are going to render something. So inside that I'm giving implicit return, so with a table row, so tr tag. And let's close that. And also remember, we need to give it an unique key prop key, that is order dot underscore id, that comes with MongoDB, so that is unique. And also let's give some class names. So class name, and we just want to center the text, okay, so it doesn't stay at the left. Okay, so that's done. And within that row we want to display some amount of data. Okay, so using the table data, and again going to give it the class name of whatever we have over here. So you can just copy and paste this here, like that. And over there we are going to render the order name. Okay, so sorry, the id. Okay, so first field is the id we have. Okay, so make sure we have all of these in order. So order dot underscore id. And yeah, so let's duplicate a few of them. So I'm duplicating 6 times since we have 6 columns over here, and just going to change the data, okay, or the property that we have in our order. So this is going to be the username. Okay, so which user actually has ordered this item. So user dot name. Again, we can use optional chaining if the user is actually still fetching. And then we want the order. What do you have? The date. Okay, so order dot created at. Okay, so we only want the date. Okay, so we can slice this to just 10 places. Okay, we have also done this previously. And yeah, so next is we want to display the total price. So order dot total price. Next we have the is delivered. Okay, so that the flag which is a boolean value, so is delivered. So if it is if this value is true, then we want to say yes. Then if it is not delivered, then we want to say no. So that's done. Now what do you want to do? Now we just need to render a few buttons. Okay, like for editing, and also to if we want to delete the particular order. So we can create two buttons right below this. So let's get rid of this and give a button tag right inside the table data, like that. And over there we want to say view details. And also another button to delete the order. Actually, I just realized we don't actually have to delete the order, because that should actually remain in our database irrespective of whether the order is delivered or not. Okay, so we just want to view the details, so it should take us to the specific order page, which contains all of the order details. And let's give some class names. Class name, that is, I'm going to give it a blue color, so bg dash blue dash let's say 700. Then when we hover on it, it should have a different color. Okay, so let's keep this 500, and when we hover on this, it should be 700. Okay, so that we have some good UX. And then we want to
Also, we
have
need
the
to
text to white.
get rid of this key which
Okay,
we
by
no
default
longer
it's
need.
black, I
And
guess.
yeah, so let's
And
have a look.
then we want to
So
make
we
it
have
bold,
the shipping
font
that
bold.
is $0 because
above $100 is free shipping, and we
Next,
have the tax.
we have to give
So
some
adding
padding
up everything
on the
gives us this
x-axis and
total.
y-axis.
Okay.
Okay, and then we want to give some border radius, so just the
Yeah.
default border radius. Okay, so that's done, and now let's give it a link. Okay, within the link tag from React Router DOM. So let's wrap this inside the link tag. For some reason nothing is being auto imported. What's wrong? uh, Anyways, so let's give it a route of that should be a dynamic value, so that should be slash let's give it inside a template string. So we want to go to slash orders, then slash, then this particular order id. Okay, so order dot underscore id, like that. And let's close this, and within that we are going to render the button. Okay, so looks good. So I guess now we can go ahead and test it out. Seems like there's a problem. I guess my laptop is slow, that's why. No, actually this also has to come top. I guess that should fix it. uh, this, I guess this link tag should come top, like that. Yep, quite a bit of typing, but we have to do it, right? So everything is done. Now let's have a look whether we have all of our orders in place or not. So link is not defined. Oh my god. Yep, there we go. We have all of our orders. Okay, nice and good. We have the order ID, the user. Okay, so far I've only been testing with John Doe. So if there's some other user, we will also have that, and also the date of when the user ordered this particular, or this particular, made this order, and also the total we have, and we have the status of delivered. Okay, then later we will be handling this as an admin, whether to make this product delivered or not. And we also have these actions. Okay, so if I click on any one of the orders, so it should take me to that specific order. Okay, so if I just click on this, which has a price of 919, uh, gives me an error. So I guess this should be just order and then followed by the id. Yep, there we go. We have the product with the particular price that we talked about. Okay, so let's also search for another order, I mean. Okay, so this one. So there we go, everything looks good. Okay, so later we'll be handling this mark as delivered also. Okay, so it will be better if we also add in the shipping price and the tax price as well. Okay, so that the user gets to know the actual price. So we can just go back to our code, and we can just fix this. You know what, I can just duplicate this right outside this mapping order items. So I can just paste one of the instance, and I can you know I can call this shipping instead of this item name, which we no longer have outside this expression. So I can call this shipping. Okay, and then we can pass in the value of the shipping price over here. So I can just replace this and give this shipping price, like that. And this has to be inside expressions. So we can just replace this to shipping, sorry, this tax price, like that. And now we also need to remove this, which we no longer have, just to have some an empty cell within our table. Okay, and let's name this tax. Okay, so and also we need to remove this key prop, which we no longer need. So like that. And yeah, I guess everything is done. Now we can just have a look at what we have.
So we have the shipping price and the tax price. Okay, so shipping price is zero because price is above $100, and the tax price is $120, which is 15% of this. So you get the total of all these three values over here. Okay, so this was just a small mistake which I just didn't implement this shipping and tax price in our earlier videos as well. So that is why I know it doesn't look the best. So we can you can look to make it better. So and we can just give this little bold text, okay, just to distinguish between the products and the shipping and tax. So for that we can go to a code and just give this a class name of font, let's say semi bold. Okay, so which is a font weight of 600. So we can do the same for the tax price as well. Okay, just so we have some difference between the products and the shipping and tax price. So that's done. So let's do the same for the place order screen as well. So if we go to a cart, we have some items. So if I proceed to checkout and select the payment method, so we have all of these products. So we also need to show in the the text of shipping and tax price. So whatever the price is, okay. So we can copy the contents from our order screen and go to our place order screen and just place it right below this expression. Okay, so everything is good. So we have the shipping price as well as the tax price, so that is coming from our state. Okay, so let's have a look at that as well. So there we have our shipping price and the tax price. Okay, so for some reason this is coming in bold, so I just need to make this unbold. Okay, so that it doesn't highlight much on the products, but just the heading, the table headers that we have. So actually this should be a table data and not heading. Okay, so that's why I was thinking, why is it bold? Okay, so just name this to TD, and yeah, so that looks good. So I guess that's done. Now let's proceed ahead. So now let's handle this mark as delivered for the admin. Okay, so if the admin clicks on mark as delivered, so it should show delivered over here, and also it should update the the order instance that we have in our MongoDB of that particular order, like this order to is delivered to the value of true. Okay, so let's do that. So now let's go to our backend and create order controller for to update the order to delivered. I know again we are doing the same repetitive process. Okay, so I hope it's very clear for you to understand. So if anytime you feel like you want to try it out by your own, you can definitely go ahead and do that, since we are repeating many times for ourselves. So if you want, you can just take this as a challenge and go ahead. So I'll right now be creating a function to update the order to delivered. Update, let's call this update order to delivered. Okay, and set this to a function within the async handler. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get the order based on the params that we actually have. Okay, so we will be getting the order ID in the form of the URL params. So let's grab that by order equals await uh, order dot find by id, and we need to find based on the id that we get from the URL param. So we get that by rec dot params dot id. Okay, so that's the field we need to specify within our routes folder. Okay, and within the routes file, I mean. So let's check if the order exists. Then we want to update the particular instance of this order. Okay, so we just need to take the order, and this has a property called is delivered, right? So is delivered, and set this to true. So by default it is false. Okay, whenever we create a user on order instance, so we need to right now update this to true, like that. And we just want to set the property of is delivered at, sorry, just delivered at. So we can just say delivered at. So this has a property, and we just need to set this to a value of date dot no. Okay, so this will give us the instance of when the
the order is being delivered. So if you also have a look at our order model, okay, so we have those two properties right here. Okay, so we have the uh, so we have the is delivered value, I mean field, so and the delivered at, so which we need to update within our database. So that's done. Now let's save the instance of the order. Okay, remember, whenever we make any changes, we have a method called save from mongoose. So let's call this updated order and set this to order dot save. Okay, so this will save the order in our database, and we are going to send the response of this in the form of JSON, that is the updated order, like that. Okay, so let's handle if there is no order. So we just want to rest.status, that is 404 not found, throw new error saying order not found. Okay, so that's done. Now let's export this, and let's create a route for this as well. So going to order routes, and this is just going to be uh, slash order slash colon id. Okay, and also to deliver. Okay, so we can also add an deliver after that. So slash I slash we can say slash deliver slash colon id. So this is the id which we will get from the rec.params, and let's change this to update order to delivered. Okay, and this needs to be a patch request. Okay, since we are partially changing the instance of the order model order instance in the database, right? So patch request, and let's save this, and now let's go to a front end and make a request to the backend when we click on that button. And before that, we also need to protect this as an admin. So let's also put in that middleware here, like that. So now let's go to a front end and create a slice over there. So within our orders API slice, let's create one for to deliver the order. So going right below this, so let's call it deliver order, and set this to builder dot mutation, and this takes in a function with the object, which in turn takes in the query. And we are right now going to pass in the order id. Okay, so through our the like order screen. Okay, so let's grab that order id, and set this inside a function where we are going to specify the url. So the backend url, that is going to be slash the orders url. Okay, that is slash what did we call deliver slash then the id. Okay, so the id which will be getting in the form of a parameter. So let's pass that in order id, and now let's make the method to patch, and finally let's actually we don't need to pass in any kind of body. Okay, so we just need to make a request to the backend. So now let's export this, use deliver order mutation, and now let's go to our order screen and import that. Okay, so I'm just going to directly auto import. So let's go right next to this, and let's destructure a few things. So that is going to be let's call this deliver order, and let's also get the is loading state, and let's call this loading deliver, and that is coming from use what is that use deliver order mutation and just call it. And now let's this should be deliver order, and let's create a function such that when we click on this button it should call that. Okay, so let's on click set this to a function. Let's say deliver order handler. Now let's create the function at the top. So this we takes in the order id. Okay, so which we also need to pass in, so which particular order does this pertain to, so which we need to mark this as delivered. So also let's pass that in. So this in turn has to be inside a function. Okay, so remember what I told in the previous videos. So we just need to write it like this if we are passing any value. So order id. Okay, so does this order id exist? Yeah. So now let's handle this. So we just need to call this deliver order and just pass in the order id. So let's await the deliver order. So this is a function which expects the order id, right? Like that. And also we need to refetch this since we updated the database, so it should show us the fetch the fresh data. Okay, so that's what we also imported this, remember, in our previous video, that is refetch. And let's call that. So you can also do this inside a use effect hook. So this is a like most elegant way of doing it, so that comes with the Redux toolkit query. So let's make this async. Okay, so I guess everything is done. So let's now test it out. So if I refresh this and click on this mark as delivered, so there we go. So we no longer have this mark as delivered button, since it's already delivered. We have already handled that within our front end, that only if it is not delivered then show this button. So now we also see the status of delivered. So we have set the flag of is delivered to true, right? So that particular value has been showed here in green color. So we have handled that all those in the previous video, if in case we had missed it. So now if we go to our orders list, you see that this particular order that we marked as delivered has now has a flag of yes, right? So if we have a look at the database, so within the order that we marked as delivered, so we have the flag of is delivered as true, and the delivered at the timestamp. Okay, so the time when the order is actually delivered, like when the admin clicked on the marked as delivered. Okay, so that time is shown over here as well. So I just noticed that we are not adding a dollar sign next to the total amount. So and also for the orders. Okay, so I guess for orders we have done, and just for the total we just need to add in a dollar symbol. So just a minor improvement. So let's go ahead and quickly fix that. So in our order list screen, let's put a dollar symbol right before this order dot total price. Okay, so this is not a template string or anything. So this don't get confused with that. So this is just a dollar sign, a regular symbol, and followed by the total price. Okay, so if you have a look, and yeah, so we have a dollar sign for every single order, and let's also do the same for the order screen. We have the total price right somewhere. uh, yeah, so I guess we just need to put a dollar symbol right before this expression. So if I just click on the details, so we have the dollar sign there as well. And also I guess we need to do the same for the place order screen. So if we go to the place order screen, so we also need to add in a dollar symbol over there as well. So let's put one right here, and then for the total price. Okay, so that's done. So
in the next video we will be creating the product list screen where we'll be listing all of the products, and we'll be having a button such that we can edit the product as well as delete the product, and also we can create a new product if we want as an admin. Okay, so let's do that.